Does your garden feel like in the constant to-do list rather than a place to go sit and relax? I used to think that yards kind of be work. I used to have to be constantly weeding, pruning, or watering, or spending my weekends planting new things just to have constant color going. But that quickly led to me feeling tired, stressed, overwhelmed, and I couldn't wait till the season ended. So today I'm going to share with you 8 ways to simplify your gardening so you can spend more time enjoying it and not working at it. So for me, that honestly all really started with changing my mindset. I would go online and I would do the thing that everyone tells you not to do and look at all the beautiful pictures on Instagram or Pinterest or wherever. And I would come outside and all I would see in my garden is all the things that were going wrong. And it would really kind of start to weigh on me and make me upset to the point where if I would get compliments from other people, whether it be friends or family or even strangers, I would hear the compliment, but then I would say, oh, but my roses didn't get deadheaded and my hostas got fried up in the sun because the sun was a little bit too strong. And then this happened and that happened. And they would all just kind of sit there and look at me like I was completely crazy because the beauty of it all was completely lost on me. I mean, just look at my workspace. It is a complete disaster. And it's something that I'm going to be working on at some point this week. But what I've learned to do is embrace the things that are going wrong and work to fix them, but not to forget to enjoy the beauty that's also come along with it. All right, tip number 2 is just find 5 minutes. Even setting a timer for 5 minutes or 10 minutes is better than 0 minutes. Because what I've learned is a lot of times small tasks can very quickly turn into very large tasks. So if you have 5 minutes, go outside and deadhead. And I have this really, really awesome hack that I have found. So if you go to the dollar store or even if you order them on Amazon, you can buy a bulk of scissors and you can kind of tuck them into your pots. And so that makes deadheading really easy if you want to cut off some leaves. So here I don't really have anything to deadhead right now. It's also not the right time to be deadheading, but it makes it a lot easier than having to go to your shed, find your pruners, then put your pruners away and everything because everything is kind of right there. So I got a big pack. I think it was a pack of like 25 that I just have, I have put sporadically throughout the garden in places where I can quickly reach from and put them right back. They're not terribly expensive. So if they do get a little bit rusty, it's not the biggest investment that I've just spent in them. Do they work as well as pruners? No, probably not. So for your bigger jobs, you do want the pruners, but they are perfect for your quick 5-10 minute jobs. All right, so tip number 3 has 2 parts, an A and a B, and it involves watering. So the first part would be to buy yourself a lightweight hose. I got this one off of Amazon a couple of years ago. I'll link it below if you guys are interested, but it's nice and lightweight. It's long, so it reaches all the way towards the end of the pool. I can leave it outside. I've had no issues with it popping, and it has been great. And it makes the task of watering so much less daunting because it's so easy to take off the hook and put back on the hook. The second is, if you have the resources to do so, install drip. It really does save you a ton of time, and it's not expensive. For my entire yard, which is about an acre, it cost me probably about $100 to $150. The most expensive part of it was really installing the timer so that I know that it goes off on a regular basis. But it saves a lot of concern in terms of making sure that things are getting established properly, that if we're in a drought, that things are getting watered properly. And the best part is if I go away on vacation with my family, I don't have to sit there and find someone to water my garden and make sure that nothing dies. So tip number 4 is choosing a simpler design. So buying just a couple different varieties not only helps with adding cohesion to your garden and rhythm and repetition throughout, but it also helps in terms of remembering what you need to do when. If you just have a bunch of hostas in your yard, you're going to remember that you're going to need to prune them back in fall. But simplifying the garden isn't just about adding to the beauty, it's also about making space within your mind to make sure that you remember what needs care when and what could potentially be the issues that you run into. Tip number 5 is planting ground covers. Ground covers are great for so many reasons. 1, they retain moisture in the soil. 2, they suppress weeds because they're so densely packed that the weeds can't grow between them. And 3, some of them, like this pachysandra right here that I have planted at the base of the tree, will remain evergreen throughout the year, so they actually add winter interest when everything else has died back. Tip number 6 would be to stop relying so much on annuals for color. Annuals can get really pricey. It means that you constantly have to be at the garden center as things are dying off for the season and buying new ones. And they can be pretty finicky too, because they're pretty heavy feeders. So you need to remember to fertilize them. You need to remember to water them appropriately. So they're not the simplest of plants. Try to think long term and make sure that your beds are packed with as many perennials as you can get in there. Tip number 7 is to buy quality tools and to make sure that you're taking the time to get them sharpened at the end of the season and keeping WD-40 on hand to keep them rust-free and nice and ready for you to go whenever you need them for those jobs, because there's nothing more frustrating than you being ready to go out there and get some work done in the garden, but your tool is not. All right, we've made it to number 8, and if you guys are still with me and like this type of content, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out a lot. You can catch me and my best buddy Leo on this channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where I post more content like this and other things. Hopefully you guys will enjoy them as well. So number 8 for me is something that I'm going to be really focusing on in 2026, and that is to just try to use more of what I have. So if there's something that I really like in the garden, rather than going out and buying a bunch more, seeing if I can split it or utilize it in different ways, rather than having to constantly stop what I'm doing, run out, get more, have the place be out of it, whatever it may be. It just adds to the hustle and bustle that I'm really trying to cut out of my life. But wait, I just thought of one more, and that is to utilize shrubs. Shrubs like your reblooming azaleas or your hydrangeas or weigelas can add a lot more impact a lot faster because of their sheer size. And they really don't need a lot of care as a perennial may. So have these in your garden and you'll be a lot more stress-free throughout the season. So I'm going to wrap it up here today. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that I missed or if there's any other questions that you may have. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. I post every Monday.